So, Tess,
Yes.
where are we going?
We are going back to where I grew up in Land O'Lakes. We're going to my suburb, Plantation Palms. We're actually one of the first families to move in there. I remember my mom showed me on Google Maps. Actually, it was all just dirt lots.
So you're one of the newer neighborhoods that are built.
I am.
in Land O'Lakes.
Eric has been here much longer than I am. I can even count as a gentrifier of Land O'Lakes before the bust.
You are part of the problem, Tess.
No problem. Land O'Lakes is a place many assume would be the ideal location to raise a family. Our parents, the Gen Xers, were told, at least this is how my mom puts it, she was told, you grow up, you get married, you have kids, you move to the suburbs because that's where the A schools are, that's where it's safe, that's where X, Y, and Z.
You do what you feel is supposed to be best for your family, because you don't really know otherwise. It's what everybody says, so.
But based on my experience, a pristine exterior was all my subdivision had to offer. I hate the suburbs. Can I just say that? I fucking hate the suburbs. I hated growing up here, I hated living here, and I hate the culture it breeds. But despite my harsh words, there were some positives to growing up in this environment. What did people do right in the suburbs?
They worked to reach out to people on their streets to find community events to do together.
It's a good place to raise kids until they get a little more growed. Then then you should take them out of here. There's not enough to do.
So I think they do a good job in that sense in making it feel like a safe place to be, because nothing really bad happens out here.
But one fun thing about growing up in the suburbs was how much everybody put so much thought into their decorations for every holiday.
And I remember we used to hit golf balls and baseballs and stuff in the field across from my house because there was no houses there, so you could just do whatever we wanted. And hot air balloons used to land in the fields.
Oh my god, I forgot about the hot air balloons.
That was so cool to watch that.
And they'd land right in front of your house.
Right in front of the house. We're not a complete turd of a town.
But there is a flip side to the suburbs here. What else is there to talk about with Plantation Palms?
It's a lovely golf course community.
That's now been abandoned. Yeah, this place has gone downhill, to say the least. A lot has changed since my family left Plantation Palms back in 2010. Oh my god, they painted it an ugly color! But I'll be focusing on the neighborhood I knew from 2001 to 2009. So, did you like the suburbs?
They were fine. For what they are, they're fine. It wasn't me, though. Nice people looking for the best for their kids. A lot of surface stuff. A lot of lawn and home beautification concerns. A lot of making sure your mailbox wasn't too dirty.
And some went to what I considered excessive measures to protect that clean mailbox. I think Plantation Palms is a really interesting suburb because it's not only a gated community, but there are gated communities within the gated community. Like everybody, I think, who had a house that was worth $500,000 or more asked for extra gates to be put in. I called it, it's like Suburban Inception. Which actually didn't do much in the name of safety. You learn living in the suburbs, gates don't keep criminals out, they keep them in. I believe there were 2 grow houses busted in one down the street from my house in a year. It's very isolating here. It's very, you don't just build physical walls, you build metaphorical ones around yourself and your property. In my opinion, the sheltered environment led to a demand for conformity. Here, everything's supposed to be quiet, and you keep to yourself, and you don't make too much noise or be too distracted. I'll tell you what, you didn't need to be Black or Hispanic or gay here to feel the full brunt of a community's just wrath. If they thought you didn't belong for any reason, they made sure you knew. From what I saw, the true threats to the neighborhood were close to home. Yeah, there were good parts, but all that community fell apart so easily and so quickly that it was kind of laughable that we built it to begin with. Not that we didn't try. Because we're all so close. I think when we first moved in, we all tried to put on a smiling face and be like, oh yeah, we'll all get along, this and that.
And we did things because everybody was new to the neighborhood, and I didn't know anybody. And I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. William was too.
There was a block party every week. My house, which happens to be right over there, the playground was a main spot to play on. That was kind of like the neighborhood playground because they didn't provide any because they decided a golf course was more important. We were all pretty tight here on this block. There was, over time, a lot of drama. We all later decided we didn't like each other.
I made some friends. And sometimes, you make friends because you're the only people there and you have kids the same age, and then, 6 months into it, you're like, oh, what the hell, man?
Same thing applied to the kids. And if you did something that one person didn't like, it suddenly became very cliquish, and the kids didn't want to hang out with you anymore. That's really, I think, what can sum up suburban culture. It's very high school. It's so high school, especially the newer, shinier places. But with age does not always come wisdom. Take Dupree Gardens, for example.
My neighborhood was old as fuck. Like, all the houses in there, like, pretty old. The last 10 or 15 years or so, when they started building new houses in there. It's like a pretty nice neighborhood. It's not like trashy. It's like, it's nice.
Mm-mm.
Got no interaction with the neighbors.
And you think that's your parents doing, or just it's not a
I guess
like
everyone
community
keeps to
there?
themselves. Not really like a community. You just kind of have your house and like your yard, and you just do your own thing.
Your neighborhood actually doesn't sound, your suburb doesn't sound that far off from mine. Just there are less fences. Not that Lando completely lacks authenticity. There is a community vibe here. You gotta leave the neighborhood, ironically enough. But as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the place that raised me, when it comes to neighborly affection or just neighborly kindness, it's all a facade. People are just as fake as nice as their house looks. So, is it possible for suburbia to be redeemed in Lando? Only time will tell, but if you ask my family's opinion.
There's such little isolated pockets that development has probably ruined their chance forever of being diverse hubs where people can get to know people of other, not just races, income levels, I don't think that dividing people so that they feel safe because everybody's just like them is wise, because I think you miss out on so much of your community when you do that.
And maybe that's the problem with the suburbs, is it's so shallow because it's so new. People don't stick around long enough to forge real connections with their neighbors and the longtime residents.
It's probably my least favorite place I've ever lived in my life. I made some friends, I had some fun. If I could change anything, I never would have lived there. Never.
It seems like you're holding back
I
so
am.
much.
People like living there, and they're perfectly nice people.
I was gonna say, you may be more popular than I will be after this comes out.